I'm going to show you how to use track motion to label objects in After Effects. And we're starting right now. Game. This effect can be used to give more information about an object or a person by showing the labels, details, or information about that person. This effect is also used sometimes in cooking videos. Diba sometimes yung ingredients, pag nilalapit mo sa screen, yung details tsaka words din lumalapit. So what After Effects does is it tracks a certain part of an object and it analyzes it frame by frame. So you have to make sure that the object or the person can easily be tracked by After Effects using tracking markers. So tracking markers are markers na nilalagay mo sa object or person para mas madaling makahanap si After Effects ng itatrack. So usually you can see these in parang behind the scenes footage of special effects movies na parang may green na na-cross na nakastick sa object or sa person na itatrack. Para their editing software will have an easier time to track the motion of the person or the object. Pero usually sa people, kapag simple lang naman yung video and gusto ko lang i-track yung movement ng head niya, a good tracking marker is the eyes. So it's easier for After Effects to track it kasi super contrasted niya, black and white siya. So mas madali niyang ma-detect yung movement ng eyes mo. So if nag-rotate ako pa ganito, or pa ganito, or pag gumalaw ako from left to right, diba? Susunod pa rin yung text layer or whatever layer I attach to my head. So, para mas matulungan pa natin si After Effects, para mas madali siyang makatrack ng movement ng object or ng person mo, you have to make sure din na maayos yung lighting. Kasi if madilim or malabo or blurry, medyo tatalon-talon siya ng points ng itatrack kasi hindi niya matrack properly yung gusto mong itrack na After Effects. So once you have your footage of a moving object or a person, in my case it's me, you import it in After Effects and then go to the Tracker tab and then click on the Track Motion button. And then check the rotation box also para matrack din niyo yung rotation and not just the position. Kasi if hindi naka-check yung rotation box, even if you move or even if you rotate your head from left to right, hindi matatrack yung rotation ng object or ng person. So you have to make sure that the rotation box is checked. Once you click that, may lalabas na parang dalawang box with a cross at the center. So you have to place the track points dun sa tracking markers, dun sa person or object. If you place a tracking marker, then that's good. After Effects will have an easier time to track whatever it is that you're tracking. But in my case, since it's much simpler lang naman and you're tracking the movement of my head, you can just place the tracking points dun sa eyes ng person mo. So once you've already placed both trackers in both eyes, just click Analyze Forward. And then, as you can see, gumagalaw rin yung dalawang track points from left to right because it's tracking my eyes, the movement of my eyes. And then from there, we create a new null object. What this null object does is it's basically gonna house all of the data that the track motion did kanina. So to place all of the data in the null object, you click on Edit Target, choose the null object, click OK, click Apply, and then apply dimensions X and Y, and then click OK. And once all of the data of the position and the rotation is inside the null object already, you can already import different assets and then you can use those assets and parent it to the null object. And what parenting does is it's basically gonna copy all of the properties of the null object. So kung ano man yung gumagalaw sa null object, gagalaw rin siya dun sa asset na pinarent mo dun sa null object. So for example, we want to place some information about who this person is. Sino yung nagsasalita. So I'm gonna create a text layer and I'm gonna type the details and information about the person speaking. So in this case, it's just me. So it's Martin Chua and then YouTube star. Wow! Ayusin ko lang ng konti para mas maganda siya. Ayan. So, now that you have your text layer that you want to medyo follow your object, all you have to do is to place it where you want it to begin. So, For example, I wanted to pick it at the side of my head. So what I'll do is click on this swirly icon called the pick whip, and then click it and drag it to the null object. So basically, yung parent na nito, yung magulang niya, is yung null object, and it will copy all of its properties. So as you can see, the text layer is already moving along with my head. And ayun, so it's really that simple. So whenever you're shooting, you just have to keep in mind na dapat maayos yung lighting. So pag madilim, pag malabo, kapag blurry, tatalo-talon yung pag-track ni After Effects. You also have to make sure na yung object or yung person may tracking markers para yun talaga yung itatrack ni After Effects whenever that object or person is moving. And when you're tracking a person, madali na rin i-track yung eyes niya. You just have to make sure na he blinks less. Kasi kung maraming time siya mag-blink, edi mas mahihirapan na again yung After Effects to track the black and white of your eyes mismo. And that's how you can label objects by tracking the motion in After Effects. If you want to learn more about Adobe After Effects, Adobe Premiere Pro, or Adobe Lightroom, hit the like and subscribe button down below. And don't forget to watch my other videos right here. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.